Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, proud presents to you question and answering number 3. I haven't done one of these in a very, very, very long time, it seems. Due to my channel has grown very fastly, and it's crazy, and I really appreciate all of you guys for doing it. We hit 150 subscribers, so that means we're going to be doing another DVD collection, because every 50 subscribers, I do another DVD collection if you're new to this channel. But if some of you have been here since day 1, some of you have been here since day 25, 50, whatever. But whatever the case is, I really appreciate that a lot, guys. You know, if you're subscribed to me, like my videos, love my videos. If you didn't like my videos, you know, you left me feedback to, you know, make me grow as a YouTube channel in the YWC. But to get interactive with my audience, we're going to go with the question and answering number 3. And, I had about 12 to 13 questions, so I might elaborate a little bit more on some things. So let's go ahead and get into the first one. German Suplex asks, what do you think of the upcoming Triple H DVD? I think it's going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be a very entertaining documentary. I mean, he's like the COO of the company, and that basically states to the fact that they're going to put a lot of effort and a lot of work into this documentary, you know, in his Jean Paul Levesque WCW days, to his Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the blue blood of the World Wrestling Federation, and then he went to the Generation X Triple H, and to the My Time Triple H with his entrance, and then the WWE Champion, and all that kind of stuff, and he became the King of Kings, the Game, and all that kind of stuff, the Cerebral Assassin. So all that's going to be really good to see, you know, in this Triple H documentary. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'll probably get the Blu-ray, because my favorite superstars, I get a Blu-ray most of the time. Like, I got Undertaker the Streak Blu-ray. I got Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bob, my most popular. That's a long title, so let me just read this a little bit slowly. Stone Cold Steve Austin, the bottom line of the most popular superstar of all time Blu-ray, and that was a great disc. I mean, you have to get the Blu-ray if you have like a PlayStation 3 or anything like that. So you got to get that one. So I'm gonna get the Triple H one because I really like Triple H. Anyway, so yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty good. Another German Suplex question: how do you feel about the pay-per-view Battleground? I think it's pretty stupid. I hate the name Battleground, and a lot of people are going to say, oh, it's a pretty good name, pretty interesting, I can't wait for the concept, but there's not really anything. I mean, I miss the old WWE, you know, with their pay-per-view names, and the way that they advertise it, the covers, and they, you know, we've had some lame pay-per-view names, like Payback, Capital Punishment, you know, it's just some lame, corny names and stuff like that. You know, I like it when they have, like, names like Unforgiven, No Mercy, Fully Loaded, Backlash, Judgment Day, No Way Out, and then they just relaunched that in 2012. But then, like, you know, other pay-per-views like King of the Ring, just so many of these other good pay-per-view names, and then we had these, like, lame Battleground pay-per-view, like a name like Battleground, like, really? Anyway, do I watch Total Divas? I do watch Total Divas, and what do I think about the storyline? I think it's pretty good to help the quality, and get more retrospect on the Divas division, you know, in their reality-based life on E, which a lot of people watch just to watch it. I don't watch any of the shows on E, probably The Soup, actually. If you don't watch that, it's basically they bash every reality show almost. But yeah, I mean, I like the show. I think it's a pretty good show, and I bet you're like, wow, you're not a man if you watch Total Divas. Well, I think it's a pretty good reality show. It helps grow the brand product on E, and it gets other viewers to watch that. So that's why the Divas are getting more time, and I'm actually glad to see, because they're somewhat rebuilding the Divas division. But it would never be the same status as it was with Trish Stratus and Lita, so I'm sorry. What WWE shows have you attended? I can't remember who asked this question, but yes. It's actually on my About page. If you look on my About page, I just give you like a little 1 to 2 sentence description about myself and what I do on this channel, and then I just go to my WWE experiences. I went to a Raw Live house show in 2007, the end of 2007. I went to, I went to the last WWE draft, my Raw WWE DVD, the Raw WWE DVD draft. I went to the Raw WWE draft, in 2011, which sparked the Mark Henry heel Mark Henry days. I went to Over the Limit 2012, had a great time. I don't even care what anybody says about it, the main event or whatever. I loved the event, had a great time, and I'll always remember that. And so just a fun, just something, it's so fun, you know, to go to a WWE live event. And you could say it was a bad show, you could say it was a really good show, you could say it was an okay show, but in my opinion, it was really fun to me, and I loved every single match on the show. And maybe not every single match, but it was a fun, really, really entertaining show to me. And then I went to recently, in about May, I went to the SmackDown main event taping, so, you know, that was fun. So I got to see Chris Jericho vs. Ryback the first time, which was better than their match at Money in the Bank, personally. Anyway, that's my answer for that one. What do you think about WWE promoting Total Divas as reality IWC champion? I think it's pretty, like I just said, like I elaborated more. That's basically my answer. Like my third question that I asked, that was asked, is basically the same answer as that. So there's really no need for me to go into more detail about that. What's your favorite gimmick match? Oh man, favorite gimmick match. I mean, there's a lot of good ones. Ladder match is too subjective, so I don't even know if that's really a gimmick match. So, I had to go with. I mean, there's different ones. I mean, these got ladder matches, last man standing matches. But my favorite just seems to be. You know what? I'll go with my gimmick match. I don't even know if you'd call this a gimmick match, but I'll go with the Fatal 4-Way. Or either that, or, I don't know. That's a really good question. I didn't answer these. I'm answering it at the top of my head right now, so. Man, that's a pretty good question. Thank you for that question. I mean, it's really good. You get a cookie, but obviously I don't have any cookies here, so anyway, it's going to be left unanswered right now. Favorite pay-per-view so far? SummerSlam 2013 was the best pay-per-view so far. My favorite was Royal Rumble 2013, not just because The Rock won the title, because I'm not a huge Rock fan. You know, I like 1998 to 2002 Rock. That's my favorite Rock years. Now, it's just, the nostalgia's worn off. But I love the Royal Rumble match. The last man standing match was really good. The WWE Championship match was, it was an okay match. I watched it live and all, so it was a fun match, the Royal Rumble match. My favorite was Royal Rumble 2013. What was the greatest rivalry of all time? All-time greatest rivalry. You can look at different things. Andre and Hulk Hogan, what it did for the business then. You know, if you watch the greatest rivalry documentary of all time, you can literally look at that. In wrestling history, this is what the guy asked. So, man, you know, you had so many. I mean, you had different perspectives you can look at. I mean, you can look at the NWO and WCW. Hulk Hogan versus Sting, Flair versus the Road of the Bionic Elbow. You know, you had that. You know, you had a great rivalry. I mean, you had Rock and Roll Express versus the Midnight Express, which is an awesome rivalry. Owen Hart, Bret Hart, you know, McMahon, Austin, Rock. But my favorite, because it was so personal, you know, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels. I mean, it was a real thing. I mean, the Montreal Screwjob, it doesn't get any bigger than that. You know, it was not a work shoot or anything like that. It wasn't a work. You know, it was simply real. It was business. Bret Hart didn't want to do the deed of, you know, for the business. McMahon screwed him with Bret Hart, so I'd have to go with, that's the greatest rivalry to me. But is it? I don't think so, possibly. I mean, they had Michaels, they had the Rockers versus the Hart Foundation. I mean, they had an Intercontinental title once in a while. And then, you know, they had the Screwjob thing, which is a real life thing. But I don't know, maybe Triple H, well, I wouldn't say Triple H and Michaels, but there's been a lot of good ones. And that's another good question, so you get a cookie for asking that as well. How old am I? Well, that's a really subjective question. I haven't really went in the detail of what my age is. I'm 13 years old, and, yeah, but people will be like, well, you don't know anything about wrestling. I'm going to dislike this video, and I'm going to unsubscribe. That's what I'm going to do right now. Well, hold your horses. I started watching wrestling when I was, well, actually, I tuned into, okay, so this is the real story. This is going to be a long video, but should be. My mom and I were walking, we were in a Barnes & Noble at the mall, and I saw WrestleMania 21, which is my favorite WrestleMania of all time. I love the match. I love the characters that, I mean, I saw it in the store. I was like, what is this? I gotta get this. So my mom bought me WrestleMania 21, and that just sparked my interest in wrestling. But I didn't know what channel it was on. I didn't know they had Raw and SmackDown. I mean, I just thought it was just something that they just said on, you know, WrestleMania 21. I was just so blown away with Mysterio and Guerrero, you know, I love Batista. Even then I like Cena. Cena versus JBL. And, there's other good matches. And even then I thought Big Show versus Akibono sucked. But, yeah, I mean, that's how I started watching wrestling. So I started really watching wrestling in maybe at the end of 2006 or January 2007. Undertaker was my favorite, and Batista was. Then I was like, oh, I know Batista and Rey Mysterio. Because they mentioned him with Chavo and all, and I just hated Chavo Guerrero. Because I was just a huge fan of Rey Mysterio at that time. So yeah, that's how I kind of started. I kind of went away from wrestling around about the time of WrestleMania 25. I kind of got away from wrestling because it just got boring to me after a while. I mean, I watched it for a long time, and maybe that 2 to 3 years seems long to you. Doesn't seem may not seem long to you, but it seemed long to me. I had to get a break. I came back around SummerSlam 2010 time, and then I fell in. Well, I really didn't care for any of the storylines in 2010. I didn't like it. I started becoming a smart mark very soon. Maybe probably when The Miz won the title, I started becoming a smart mark. I mean, I liked heels before that, but then I started becoming a smart mark in 2010. Made a channel. And then just, expressing my opinions and then starting a DVD collection on, and it just snowballed from there. What are my preferred champs right now? Well, I think just like every internet person would say that's on the YWC or the IWC would say Daniel Bryan is WWE champion. That's my personal favorite because I love Daniel Bryan. My preferred world heavyweight champion, I'm a big RVD fan. Some people say no job Rob. I can't stand Rob Van Dam, but I hate Del Rio. I hate him with a passion. I think RVD should be the champ. I don't really want to see Christian. I'm not really into Christian anymore. So yeah, I'd go with RVD as world champ. Intercontinental champion, I would go. My Intercontinental champion. Man, that's a pretty good question. I mean, I like that question a lot. I mean, I don't like Curtis Axel at this point in juncture. So yeah, I don't know. I really don't know actually, but I would go with. Okay, I'll go with my United States champion, Tyson Kidd. Love Tyson Kidd. Intercontinental champion. Just go back to it real quick. Oh, tag team champions, I would go with the Usos. And, but Intercontinental champion, I would go with Dean Ambrose, actually. I just think Dean Ambrose looks better either since Cesaro or Dean Ambrose. Man, I'm an internet mark. I'm just naming all these guys. But yeah, this is me. Divas champion, Natalya. I love Natalya. I don't know why. I really like Natalya. Dream WrestleMania 30 card. Taker versus Cena. Triple H versus Stone Cold. CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan. There's a smart mark coming out in me. I really don't want to see Rock at another WrestleMania. So basically, I mean, that's just the big main events right there. So that's just mine. That's my little main events right there for Dream WrestleMania card. So I can't just give you a whole list down, but good question, Voice of the Voiceless. This is a really good question. This will be entitled as my video. And the last question of the day. If you could bring back 2 wrestlers from the dead, who would they be and who would you have them wrestle today? I really like this question. I really do. I'd bring back Eddie Guerrero. One of my, favorites as a little kid. And I just love Eddie Guerrero. I mean, I thought he was awesome. I thought Eddie Guerrero was really cool. I thought he was hip. I would have him wrestle different guys, in this business. Can't elaborate on it much, although this is a 14-minute video, so I don't want to go over 15 minutes. I could probably elaborate on more. But yeah, I'd love to see that with Eddie Guerrero. And I know everybody would say this one too. Chris Benoit. I don't know why. I loved him. Of course everybody's going to hate him for, what he did. And I'd have Chris Benoit go up against guys like Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, different Dean Ambrose, people of the Shield. I'd have him go up against John Cena, Jericho, other talent like that, and Orton. But, Yeah, I mean, I love Chris Benoit. I hated what he did, but, you can't change that anymore. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video and Q&A. Going to be doing another DVD collection video after that, and then a 60 subscriber video if we ever get to 160 subscribers. I'm trying to rush. Thank you guys so much for watching, and peace.